Welcome to the next episode of the podcast series Life on Tatami. Podcast series about martial arts and the lifestyle. Thank you for your support, and if you want to follow us, you can find us on our social media, or you can write us directly at podcast@lifeontatami.sk. Thank you, and have a nice day. In today's episode, I would like to focus on one thing. Thanks to the situation around the pandemic, we are living in strange times, and we cannot train as we used to. But now that the numbers are doing well, and then everything is slowly reopening, as well as here in Slovakia, the training slowly starts. Right, so my club, we started to train outside back in April. And I know that some of the clubs have been returning to their dojos and gyms and indoors or outdoors, whatever. And the other people are slowly organizing the first seminars, first camps. And camps and seminars are the topic of today's show. I want to talk to you about why I think they are important on your path as a martial artist. I do not know how seminars work in English-speaking countries, specifically USA, UK, Australia, New Zealand. I know that in Europe we have a fairly good tradition of seminars and camps, and I know that they are happening in UK as well, in some form or shape. But in Slovakia, and especially when we are talking about traditional martial arts, they are very important from my perspective. And why is that? Is I have a couple of reasons. One is that you have the opportunity to meet the masters behind the whole style, let's say, or the organization, and you wouldn't have a normal chance to train with them because they are living abroad, they're living in a different country. Japan, might be some other country in Europe, America, Australia, Canada, whatever. Now, this reason alone is a vital one when you are talking about seminars and camps, because you have the opportunity to step out of your bubble, let's say, and this bubble is your gym, is your dojo, is your training group partner, whatever, and to truly see an instructor on a different level. It might be the same style that you have been training, or it might be a different style altogether, but you are able to see a master at work. The stepping out of your comfort zone, out of your bubble, is also important when we are talking about seminars and camps. Of course, there is the master, there is the instructor, but there are also other people, your peers, pupils, students, who have been training at a different dojo, at a different club, and they had been training maybe the same style or under the same organization, but they might have been training differently. So you will see the differences and you might learn, and the most important part is to connect, to network, let's say. Now, this is all when we are talking about, for example, a single style seminar or a camp, when this is organized by an organization or your club, and you invite people, like-minded people that are doing the same style. And for many people, this would mean that you will be training the same things that you have been training on your regular trainings, but under different tutelage, under different instructor, under different master, under different circumstances, more intense, more time intensive, and you might be able to expand on a certain skill rather more quickly than when would you be on a normal training. So seminars and camps are also important because of this. If you are attending a seminar or a camp that is being within your own style, you are able to have a look on a certain set of techniques, or some essence of the style itself, some principles that have been, part of what the style is made of, and training and focusing on that part. It might be because you are having bell test, or you might be attending some competition, or you might be looking, to be competing in a fight, and you want to truly focus on something, a part of the curriculum, for example, or a part of your training. And this is the other thing that a camp or a seminar can provide for you, is to have an intensive look on the style that you have been training under the tutelage of a different instructor. It might not be a master, it might not be a different instructor in terms of your instructor is a third degree black belt and this one is 7th degree black belt. It might be as well as different third degree black belt, but this person might have a different take on the technique, or might even have a different take on how to teach this particular technique, and this might on its own help you to expand your own skill set and expand what you understand and how you train, and etc. etc. But I have to tell you that this is only a small fraction of what seminars and camps can offer you. We have been so far talking about, and specifically about, seminars and camps that are revolving around the same style that you have been training in for a certain amount of time. So it is something that is still within not your particular bubble, but a bigger bubble, the bubble of your organization, the bubble of your style. You are still within a certain level of your comfort zone because you are doing the same things, but under different tutor, instructor, whatever. Now, what I think is more interesting to attend is a seminar or a camp that is compiled or comprised of different instructors from different backgrounds, from different styles, from different schools, from different organizations. And this compilation of techniques that you will be exposed to can provide you a broader view of your own style, a broader view of your own martial art, or a broader view of the whole world that is the world of martial artists and martial arts. Why is that? It's simple, really. When you're training at a different level, with your own master or with your own style, you are training just to expand your own skill set that you have been training in for a long time on regular trainings. But if you are looking for expanding the knowledge of martial arts, not particular technique, it is always good idea to attend a seminar or a camp that hosts a number of instructors, and even instructors in the same martial art, right? You might have different styles in karate, but if you attend a camp where different styles are represented, you might see and understand the differences and the little specialities and cherries within the style that is being represented by the different instructors. Or you might attend a camp where you have different martial arts altogether. You might have a camp, and I have attended camps like this, when you have weapons training, where you have jiu-jitsu, when you have Brazilian jiu-jitsu, where you have maybe aikido, and more and more and more. And when you are a student and you start to attend these classes or these short trainings, because you will have an hour, 90 minutes tops with one particular instructor, for example, then the groups rotate, then you only can get a glimpse of what they are teaching and a glimpse of the essence of the martial art that they are representing. But what it might do to you is that you will understand that there is more approaches to the same issue of self-defense, the same issue of martial arts, of understanding the movement, of understanding the technique. And you will see, okay, I'm doing karate, for example, and I know techniques like osotogari. It's a type of throw, and you training in a certain way, and I train in a certain way on a karate training. Then I started to attend a camp, for example, and in a camp you have a karate instructor, jiu-jitsu instructor, judo instructor, and you might have an instructor in Filipino martial arts. And all these four instructors will do the exact same technique. In Japanese martial arts, they might call it the same name even, Osotogari. In Filipino martial arts, it will be called a different name, but it will be the same technique. And what you have is an opportunity to have a look at the technique from 4 different perspectives and take whatever suits you the best. And this is the aim of camps and seminars in my mind, is to broaden and expand your view and understanding of martial arts. Because if you think that once you attend a camp or a seminar, you will know the techniques that have been shown there, you will understand the essence, you are wrong. You can take 1, 2, 3 things tops from my experience, really 2, 3 things maximum out of the whole, let's say 10-hour experience, 20-hour experience, or a week experience, because there is only so much that you can learn at the one sitting. And the sitting might be a couple of days, sure, but there is only so much that you can learn because you are hindered. Let's say hindered, but I do not mean in a negative way, but you're hindered by your own experience from before, you're hindered by your own style, and you try to put it all together. And you have to have time in order to understand that. You have to have time and repetition in order to master that. So camps and seminars are not about mastering a technique, particular technique. Of course, you might have opportunities to better yourself when you are attending a seminar or a style or a camp that is within your own style, but we are not talking about that now. We're talking about a compilation of styles, different instructors. So if you're at a camp like this and you will take 2, 3 things, it's the best thing that could happen to you, because now you have a broader experience. But if you are expecting that now you know how to, for example, fight with a knife because you had attended roughly 4 hours of training in Filipino martial arts, or 10 hours of training in Filipino martial arts, or a week training in Filipino martial arts, you are gravely mistaken, because you need to drill these things. You need to understand and learn and truly get it into a system and get it into a reflex, get it into your body. So this kind of expectation is wrong. Simply is wrong. Does it mean that some camps and seminars do not have meaning? No. Because the sole purpose of this is to meet and train together. In Japanese, they call it kashuku. It comes from the olden times when samurais would sleep in the same place, train and eat at the same place, basically living together and training together. This is how it was explained to me. So if I'm wrong, I'm sorry. But this is how I understand it, the term. And the camp or seminar is the same idea. You have 24/7 interactions with people who do martial arts. Might be the same, might be different, it doesn't matter. And you at that time live and breathe martial arts, and you truly train, and you truly try to expand your understanding of the differences. Basically, you are not there to learn specific technique and perfect at that particular timeline and time frame of a couple of days. You are there to understand that, okay, this is also possible, and this is how you do it, and now I have to repeat it and repeat it and repeat it on my own training in order to understand it, otherwise it's gone. So if you take out the 2, 3 things, it usually isn't big things. It's the details, it's the cherries, it's the distance, it's the application of a joint lock, or it's the escape from a mount, or whatever. It's the small things that you learn there at a camp or seminar, because you are bombarded by a large amount of information, yet you try to take whatever suits you in that particular example and time. It should be like that. When I'm attending seminars, I attend 2 types, or camps. I attend 2 types. One type is a camp or a seminar where my master is teaching or leading the camp or seminar, either or. So I spend a lot of time with him, and I spend a lot of time training the same stuff. There is only so much that a master or an instructor can show in a seminar or a camp, And usually it's more or less the same techniques, because you have all the time the different people attending, or more or less different people attending, and this is their only exposure, for example, to your own style. So you are not doing complicated things, you're doing simple things. But if I am there and I'm being exposed to the same things over and over and over again, I still learn 2 or 3 things out of that seminar, because I learn the cherries, I learn the let's say, secrets. And it's not a secret, it's just a detail. And it's a truly important detail. It might be detail about distance, as I said, or application of a joint lock, whatever. And this detail stays with me then, and I have to then work on it. I have to remember it, I have to rehearse it, I have to redo it, I have to truly get it into my system. This is one type of the seminar, right? Where my master is teaching, for example, or it's specifically my style. Then there are the other types of seminars and camps, the outside of my bubble. And at those, if I remember one thing, I think it was a good one. Because I will be, and you all will be, and we all are exposed to completely new principles, completely new techniques, completely new rules, and you have to navigate yourself through those, and you have to understand that they are doing these things. This is very similar to what we are doing, but the movement is completely different. The footwork might be different, the approach, the distance, the details are different. This is the same outcome, but whatever comes before and after the technique might be different. You can notice this when you are watching a lot of YouTube videos, for example, and you are watching martial artists that do jiu-jitsu, you watch martial artists that do Filipino martial arts, you look at martial artists who do Silat, etc., etc. And you can see there are certain similarities, as I said before in previous episodes. These similarities comes from the nature of things, right? We have only one body that moves the same way. So if you're attending a seminar or a camp that is outside your bubble, you're still doing more or less the same outcome, but you have different approach. You have a different way how to do it. And this is what you are learning. So if you can incorporate 1-2 things out of this, it's perfect. But what is the main reason then what is the main reason to attend then, right? Well, the main reason is to network, basically. To meet other people, to meet other instructors, to meet other students, and make friends. Because it is about having great time. You are there to learn something, yes. But outside of the training, you are there to make friends. And usually it's like that, you make friends. I've made lots of friends outside of my own bubble when I was attending different seminars, and I've even met people who had attended the same seminars with that particular instructor, and I met them again a couple of years later at a different seminar, and we have never even talked before. We just trained together for a couple of hours, and we noticed each other and said, I remember you from that seminar a couple of years back. Oh yeah, how are you doing? And it is not an instant deep friendship. I wouldn't ask the guy to help me move, or to help me with a loan or something. No, but I can talk to that guy or those people about my experience. My experience as instructor, my experience as a martial artist, my experience as a student, my experience as someone who's interested in these kind of things, and I can share with them, and they can share with me, and then I see, and we all see, that we are going through the same things. Basically, we are challenged similarly when we are talking about leading a club, or leading a dojo, or training people, training myself, dealing with inner problems, dealing with blocks. For example, you have a learning block you cannot overcome, but then you started to speak with someone and say, yeah, I had it a couple of years back, this is what helped me. You could try this, and it might work, and it might help you. So seminars and camps is a larger possibility to make friends with different people. The same as when you join a club or a dojo or a gym, you have there, let's say, 15, 20, 30, 40 people that you might be friends with, right? If you go to a seminar when there is 100, 200 people, then you have a bigger possibility to make friends. So is it a good idea to join a seminar or a camp, or when you train? Is it a good idea to attend these things? Well, that depends on what you're expecting, but in general, I would say yes. One, you will always learn something. You might not learn what you are expecting. You might not learn as much as you are expecting, but you will always learn something. There is always something that will stay with you after the training is done, after the seminar or camp is done. You will have the experience and possibility to an opportunity to meet with really skilled people, masters that you could strive to be like them. You have the role models in front of you when we are talking about the martial arts, and of course you might get out of your comfort zone, get out of your bubble, the bubble of your martial arts style, and learn something new, meet new people, make new friends, and you will see that the world of martial arts is vast, is colorful, it's interesting, it's complicated, but it's there. And I think that this is the vital part of not learning a particular skill set or technique, but learning to understand that although we are doing different things, although we are dressing differently, or calling ourselves differently, or doing something that is coming from different parts of the world, we're still doing the same basic thing. We are still doing martial arts. We have a lot in common. So with this, I would like to end today's episode. And I have one final remark that is, of course, about the camps and seminars in today's topic, but also about the clubs themselves. We are slowly reopening here in Slovakia and other parts of the world as well. If you are attending or you were attending classes, but the classes were delayed, or they were discontinued, cancelled due to COVID, and now they're slowly getting on their feet, keep in mind to get in touch with your trainer, to get in touch with your instructor, get in touch with your club. Even if you cannot train at the moment because of health or work or other things, just get in touch. That you're thinking about them, or how they're doing, how they are progressing, if they need help or something. And if they need, try to support them with money, or with your time, or with something, because we all have been dealing with the COVID differently. But for all of us, it was and it is a very, very difficult time. My own club has been suffering with this for a long time, ever since the original COVID of 2020. We had been on and off with training. We had to postpone everything, and we have been suffering, for example, financially and otherwise. So it is nice and I can say it's for myself as well, it is nice for the instructors to know that okay, you still care about them and care about the club and the training itself. So if you can support your own clubs, whatever you can to do in order for them to survive, because most of the time it's our own projects that we are doing on top of our own life, private life and work life, and we tend to put a lot of effort and sometimes money even into it. So it would be nice to see that people appreciate this. And of course, with the opening of businesses and venues and whatever, there are some camps and seminars being organized in Europe. So it is up to you, and if it's safe, I would recommend to attend it, at least one. To support the organization in a different way, to support the masters and instructors in a different way, only maybe a one-time thing, because I think that we all need this in one way or another to feel normal again before whatever happens. So keep that in mind, and I have to say thank you to my students how they have been handling this whole COVID thing. Thank you for listening to Life on Tatami podcast series, and thank you for your feedback. We appreciate it. You can find us on our social media such as Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and you can write us directly on podcast at lifeontatami.sk. And thank you, and see you next time.